All right. Second here, everything up. All right, cool. So, um, one thing I ran across today that I thought it could be kind of interesting for people to check out is loading a whole feature service. And let me tell you what I mean by that when I say loading the entire feature service in your applications. Today I came across a situation where I want to use the Firefly grid lines at Living Atlas on ArcGIS Online, right? And of course, John Nelson made them, so you know that they're fabulous, right? So I went in here and I was like, okay, that's cool. I'll load them. So first thing I did, of course, copy the ID up over here. You get the item ID from the URL in ArcGIS Online. I'm trying to poke some bears to get that item ID on the actual page here to make it a little easier, but yeah, things are moving. So, okay, so then what I want to do is I want to say const layer is equal to new feature layer. All right, and then I pass it the portal item object, and of course that portal item has to have an ID. Now your first thought might be, oh, okay, that's cool. That's going to go ahead and add the whole layer to my map. But it won't. Oh, I got to add it to the thing. I messed that up. Okay. Layers, layer. I forgot to add it. Let me go ahead and comment out center and zoom just so we get the whole map in here. So you can see what I'm trying to talk about, right? That's not the whole layer. That's just looks like it's the meridian right here, right? And the equator. That doesn't make sense. What's going on here? So if you look at the description and everything, and you look at the online pages for the item and everything, it's going to tell you what layers are part of the map, or are actually part of the service. All right, so we've got, see, land at 0 degrees, land 20 degrees, so on and so forth. So what is actually getting loaded? Really, only one layer is getting loaded. The first one. We do it like this, right? Here's a copy, link to the URL over here. All right, so from over here, here's the service, right? So we're just loading from over here. We're loading the first layer, layer 1, right? That's the 0 degrees. We're not getting the 20 degrees. We're not getting 10 degrees, 5 degrees, or this other 1 degree over here. Well, I'm sorry, yeah, 0 degrees. So we're not getting all those. They're not loading. What's the problem here? Well, feature layers, like we're using it here, are only meant to load a single layer in the service, right? Services are made up of multiple layers. See, it's called here. We called out right here, layers. You got index 1 all the way down to index 10. So there are 10 layers in the service. Well, that doesn't do me any good. I want to load the whole thing. I want everything in my my map. I want the whole feature layer. So what do I do? Okay, so if we come over here to documentation, that's a little, make it a little smaller. Hope you can see. A little smaller again. There we go. So if you come to reference here, there's actually a way that you can do this in the API without having to kind of iterate over stuff, manually create layers yourself. If you come to the Esri layers layer endpoint or layer documentation over here, we can, let me go ahead and make this a little bigger here. Boom, like so. A little bigger. There we go. So, blah, 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 blah. There's, all right, so if you want to create a layer, you must use one of the subclasses there or called layer from portal item. When it says use one of the subclasses, it means use feature layer, map image layer, there are tons of layers. Come on, man, don't make me go through them all. Or use layer from portal item. Awesome. So how does layer from portal item work? It's going to create a new layer instance of the appropriate layer class from ArcGIS Align. So we're basically give us the item. It's going to go in there. It's going to figure out what type of layer does it have to load. Does it need to be a map image layer? Does it need to be an image layer, feature layer, KML layer, whatever it is? What does it have to actually load? And it's going to go ahead and give you that layer back. However, one of the things that I'll do, if the item points to a feature service with multiple layers, then you're going to get back a group layer. And that group layer is going to have all the different layers in it that are part of the service. So how do I use it, right? Okay, let's come over here. I need to actually import it. So if I come over here, Let's say layer and layer. Okay, so let me. This is a little small. All right. What's going on here? I need a bigger screen, believe it or not. I just try to make these fonts so big for everyone that you guys can just see things just fine. So I want this. I still need this, like so. But let's go and comment this out. Let's comment this out. All right, come on. I don't need that. Okay, all right. So here's what I'm gonna do. And I would probably do this a little cleaner way. I'd have like an async await function to make all this stuff work, but I just want to show you how this actually is going to work. So layer from portal item. I'm going to pass the same thing I gave it to the feature layer. Oops. There we go. That's going to return a promise. .then, right? This is going to return a layer. And once I get that layer back, I can go and say map.add layer. And give it a second. Bam, there we go. I've loaded all of the layers that are part of that service. Now let me, just so I can see what's happening here. I think if I just add a legend here, we do this. Widgets, legend. I don't even know if this is going to show up in the legend. Maybe. What I'll do here is I'm going to say that well, it's legend equal to new legend, pass it to view, view.ui.add, legend. Oh my gosh. Bottom right. That's a massive legend. Watch. Bam, 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 bam. There we go. So yeah, it does show up in the legend. You can tell all the layers have been added to the map, right? Whatever cool. Since I'm here, one other cool thing you could do, which I think this might work. I don't know, tell you the honest truth, with this base map that I've gotten here. But since these are gradicules, maybe I actually want them to be part of the base map. So what I can do is I did have a video on collections like a couple weeks ago, I think, or something like that. So this kind of works very similar. So if I just don't add it here, but I say map.basemap.baselayers.add layer, but I want to add it first, so it should be that's not going to work because it should be behind everything. Now I'm thinking about this. So yeah, the map itself covers it up. So if I try this, see what happens. There we go. So now I add it to the top of the base map. So it's actually now part of my base map, meaning that when I show in the legend, it's not going to, when I open the legend, there's not going to be anything in legend. It should be just an empty legend, because technically those layers are not part of the map, like operational layers. They're part of the base map, which gradicules probably should be part of the base map. You know. Anyway, I'm kind of drifting off point here. The point I wanted to make was the fact that if you need to load a service that looks like this, it's a portal item that has multiple services, multiple layers that are part of a feature service. You can just use the layer from portal item, and it'll go ahead and create a group layer, and then go ahead and load all the layers you need, right? Super easy, super simple, something you can do. If I ran across this issue, someone else might have run across this issue, so it should be useful to you. That's all I got today. Again, if you have any questions or anything you want me to answer, go ahead and drop it in the comments section. Hit me up on Twitter. I have got a couple questions. I have not missed them. I will get to them probably next week to answer those questions. And they're not difficult, but just be a little thorough about them. Make sure I get everything right and stuff. But yeah, just leave comments here. Hit me up on Twitter. Don't forget to like and subscribe as well. And